Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Khalil Doheny, and I'm the Director of Content Marketing at Digital Niche Agency. Today, we have Jackie Yang from Pegasus. Jackie, how you doing today?
Doing very good. How are you? And hello, everybody.
Yeah, and it seems like we're already having, a good group joining in. Welcome,
Okay.
everyone. Jackie, well, people are trickling in. Do you want to kind of just go into a background of yourself and really what we can expect from the event today?
Yes, of course. My name is Jackie, and I am one of the director, but also the company CTO. My background is slightly interesting because I was the youngest microlight pilot to fly solo in Australia when I was at the age of 14. And after that, it was all about racing motorbikes and cars. I also built a little helicopter in the garage when I was 19. And then obviously all those racing experience and then hands-on building stuff, this kind of experience has really helped me with the whole construction of the Pegasus vehicle. And yeah, but I went to university for two politics degrees. So slightly different things happening there.
Awesome. And yeah, really excited for the event today. We are going to be going through some presentation for you, and then at the end, Jackie's actually going to do some demos and go through and kind of walk you through the different stuff that we have here in Pegasus. And we're going to answer your guys' questions at the end. So if you have a question throughout the presentation or through the demo, please leave them in the chat box, and we'll make sure we get those questions answered. With that being said, Jackie, I think we have a good group right now. We can go ahead and get started here.
Of course, let me share my screen and we start with the presentation first. That's true. Wonderful.
Here we go.
We're good? Great. Oh, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time for joining us today for the second Pegasus Investor webinar. I'm honored to guide you through the exciting journey of Pegasus. And over the next 20 minutes, we will dive deep into who we are and what we stand for, and why Pegasus is poised to revolutionize transportation as we know it. Starting with our vision, at Pegasus, we're not just talking about the future of transportation, but we are actively creating it. Our work is rooted in real technology, tackling real-world challenges with innovative solutions. And when we say we're building a flying car, we mean exactly that, a vehicle that can transform your lifestyle by merging the freedom of flight with the convenience of a car. And this isn't just a dream or a distant possibility, because as you can see behind me, that this is a reality well within your grasp today. Many people still ask the question about why a flying car, and the answer is actually very simple. Because we see where, in a world where transportation is no longer bound by traffic jams, where the sky is a viable alternative to the road. And our mission is to create a seamless transition between ground and air travel, enabling everybody to reach your destination faster, more efficiently, and with a sense of freedom that conventional vehicles simply cannot offer. And funnily enough, that Pegasus did start because of a traffic jam. And that's the time when our founder, Michael, realized that the airspace is a resource that has not yet been utilized for daily transportation. At the same time, throughout our journey, we also developed a strong desire to overcome the limitations of more typical electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, or eVTOLs they're called. Although that they represent a significant step forward, however, they come with their own set of challenges, particularly when it comes to range anxiety and time-consuming certification processes. However, our vehicle, the Pegasus Flying Car, is designed for versatility, capable of vertical takeoff and landing on many different surfaces, whether it's grass, gravel, or pavement. And this kind of flexibility opens up a world of possibilities, from urban rooftops to remote locations, making Pegasus not just a mode of transport, but a gateway to new experiences. And these are the very important factors that make Pegasus stand out from our competition. And really the answer lies in our relentless pursuit of practical innovation. To date, we have secured 10 patents covering our core technology, and we have 5 more in the pipeline. These patents are important pieces of paper because they truly represent a breakthrough that's given us a competitive edge in a rapidly evolving market. Pegasus, we address real-world adoption and other eVTOL problems heads-on. Most importantly, our hybrid flying car are designed to eliminate range anxiety by combining the best of electric energy with the proven reliability of liquid fuel. This hybrid approach not only extends the range of our vehicles, but also simplifies the path to certification and, most importantly, commercialization, as it is familiar to regulatory bodies. Unlike eVTOLs that rely solely on electric power, Pegasus can be refueled at any gas station using high-octane gas, and making them practical and accessible today. At the same time, one of our most important achievements was the successful registration of airworthiness with an aviation authority. And this is only actually achieved by 3 rollable flying car companies globally. However, Pegasus is the only one that is VTOL, so it can take off and land vertically. It does not require a runway. And this achievement is a testament to the robustness of our design and the dedication of our team. We are going to be leveraging this success as we prepare for the certification with FAA as we come to the United States. Diving deeper into the technology that powers Pegasus, our tech stack is built on several key innovations that make our flying cars unique. The most noteworthy one is the world's first 3-pedal system that integrates flight controls with drive controls. The system simplifies the transition between driving and flying, making it as easy as pressing a button. This is not just a technological novelty, but it is a critical feature that enhances safety and usability, making our flying cars accessible to a wider range of audiences. Another significant innovation is our retractable steering column. In flight mode, the steering column actually retracts to avoid any accidental inputs that could affect the aerodynamic profile in the vehicles. Similarly, another pattern, which is our retractable steering blades, retractable rotor blades, it retracts and locks during driving, allow the vehicle to operate safely in the normal traffic conditions. And these features are protected by patents, so other people cannot copy. And these are the results of years of research and development. Looking ahead, we have an exciting development pipeline that includes extended range autopilot system designed for long distance travel. And this feature will be the backbone for our air taxi services, and enabling fully autonomous operation over vast distances. Imagine being able to book an air taxi trip for across state lines, with the vehicle handling everything from takeoff to landing safely and efficiently. We're also working on the next generation of propeller blades to minimize noise pollution. These blades are targeted to reduce noise by 3 to 4 decibels, even during low altitude descent. In the world of aviation, this is a significant reduction of noises, which can make a great difference, particularly in urban environment areas where the noise restrictions are rather strict. By integrating cutting-edge innovations, Pegasus is well positioned to secure a larger market share, offering what could be the most realistic and practical flying car solution available. Our product is not only tailored for personal or commercial users, but is also highly applicable for critical government operations. Our initial target market includes essential sectors such as law enforcement, emergency rescue services, and border control departments, where Pegasus flying car can provide an unparalleled package of speed, efficiency, and accessibility in challenging scenarios. In these sectors, the ability to take off and land vertically, combined with our long-range capability, can provide significant improvements in response time and also operational efficiency. This is just one example of how our technology can be applied to solve real-world problems. Focusing on these government sectors first offers significant strategic advantages too. Securing contracts with public institutions is not only generate early stable revenue, but also positions Pegasus as a trusted and credible technology partner. And once authorities adopt these kind of technology, the public sector tends to follow, accelerating consumer demand. And this top-down approach is a proven model for introducing disruptive technologies. And we can consider this. If every state in the US were to only adopt 2 Pegasus flying cars for tasks like surveillance, traffic monitoring, or emergency response, the impact on revenue will be substantial, and each government cell not only boosts the income, but also at the same time will open doors to the broader market, including private consumers and businesses, positioning the company for long-term and also scalable growth. Pegasus compared to our competitors. On the graph here, these are currently the biggest companies in the AAM industry, the advanced air mobility industry. And here, EHang, Archer, and Joby are all listed companies. The repeated theme here is that they're all eVTOLs, which typically they can only fly for about 35 to 40 minutes. The truth is that the energy density for a battery pack is just not good enough yet. And a battery pack that could be potentially good enough for VTOL flight is still around 8 years away. And for being an eVTOL and for them to be in operation, they also need a lot of additional infrastructure for charging and for landing. And we know too, in the biggest city, the electric grid is already working at its limitation. So that is another challenge they have to resolve in order for successful commercialization. At the same time, vertiports is not going to show up overnight, which will add further delay to their plan and for commercialization. However, for Pegasus, we use every existing airport infrastructure for operation, big or small. And we know high octane gas is accessible everywhere, and we do not need to have we do not have the last mile delivery issue, which for eVTOLs, you still have to take that little awkward taxi drive to the vertiports or away from it. However, Pegasus, we are designed to take it to your ultimate destination from the very beginning. So where other eVTOLs are still charging between every flight, Pegasus will be flying, delivering customers to the destination in record speed. And lastly, to operate Pegasus, you need a helicopter license. That means we already have access to a large pool of skilled and experienced pilots to provide commercial flights. While other companies are still training a new type of workforce for the eVTOLs, Pegasus can already conduct commercial flights once the certification process is complete. And the point here is we can enter into the market faster. In the very near future, Pegasus is certain to release our air taxi products. And this air taxi, all of the Pegasus air taxis will be based on our existing technology stack, giving all the advantages of our current flying car. In the US, which is along the coast, which is moderate weather, densely populated metro areas, and advanced aviation regulatory regime, it is an ideal location for launching our air taxi services. And it's not just about urban commutes, because we believe in those major events, international conferences or sporting events, such as the Los Angeles Olympics that's coming up soon, will drive demand for air taxi services. Imagine flying directly to the stadium or a conference center, avoiding the hassle of ground traffic and parking. And Pegasus, we definitely aims to be a major player in this emerging space, and we are already laying the groundwork for a network that could redefine urban transport. Although it is true that the advanced air mobility market is still in the early stages, however, it is certainly the best time to be involved in it. Every indication is showing that it is becoming a reality. As predicted by Morgan Stanley, by 2040, the total addressable market is expected to reach a staggering 1 trillion USD. This includes 520 billion in transport and logistics, and 460 billion in passenger transport. What is particularly exciting is that much of this market will be incremental and organic, rather than cannibalizing existing sectors. This growth represents a massive opportunity for Pegasus. We are positioning ourselves to be at the forefront of this transformation, offering a product and service that will capture a significant share of this expanding market. And of course, none of this will be possible without our incredible team. Leading the charge is Michael, our founder, director, and CEO. He's got an extremely diverse background, ranging from aviation to media to professional boxing. He brings a unique perspective into this whole project because he's not only just a visionary, and he's someone that knows how to turn dreams into a reality. Myself, I share the passion for innovation as the youngest ever Australian microlight solo pilot at the age of 14 and a qualified helicopter pilot. My experience in both aviation and race cars is quite useful when it comes to testing. I've been with the Pegasus project from the very beginning, overseeing the design, testing, and construction of our flying cars. Our core team also includes experts like Peter Schifer, who's a mentor of mine. I learned a lot of the engineering from him, who ensures that our vehicles are structurally robust yet incredibly light. He is essentially a legendary VA supercar designer. He's designed multiple VA supercars that's won championships right here in Australia. Jason, who specializes in mechanical systems and component design, and all of us together, we form the backbone of Pegasus, driving our innovation and ensuring that we meet the highest standard of safety and performance. In addition to our core team, we are supported by a network of external advisors who bring a wealth of experience to the table. Bob Carton, for example, he is a legendary airshow pilot who will be assisting us with the FAA certification. We met during the 2023 Avalon Airshow, and he loved the project as he saw it. His expertise is invaluable as we navigate the complex regulatory framework in the United States. We also have advisors like Dave, expert in R&D commercialization, and Edward Huntingford, who provides corporate advisory services, and his insights to the needs of business owners and his experience is particularly beneficial to our operations globally. Looking ahead, we are not just building flying cars. We are building a bright future. Our partnerships with various stakeholders, from government agencies to private enterprises, are crucial to our success. This collaboration ensures that Pegasus isn't just a technological marvel, but a product with real-world applications that can make a meaningful impact. As we continue to innovate and expand, we are committed to maintain the highest standard of quality and safety, and our goal is to bring flying cars from the realm of science fiction into everyday reality. This is our strategic roadmap. We are making a great process on this, and the key milestones are already achieved with more on the horizon. So far, we have contracted 10 units of cell, receiving deposit for 2, with another 120 units of indicative orders worth about 39 million US dollars. Along with all the innovation, our focus is delivering a product that is not only groundbreaking, but also reliable and safe. We are committed to keep our investors informed every step of the way, and we are excited about the progress we've made so far. If we look at 2027, becoming a public company in the US has been a goal of ours from the very beginning. Our relocation to the US will be the first significant move, and we shall aim for it with every action possible next. We are already in conversation with several US entities about we are already in conversation with several US entities which they want to become a dealership for Pegasus. This will help significantly with our market presence. And more updates on this with our progress will be made in the next month. So look out for our Wefunder and social media posts because we know that great news are coming. This is the Pegasus S. This is actually the very first model that came out from Pegasus. It was only a prototype, but it's got a coaxial drive system. This is just for the eyes only. It will be a design that we will revisit soon in the future. And that's the presentation for the moment. I want to show you guys something. Let me disconnect a few things, and I'll bring my laptop to the cards that you can see. Give me one quick second. Just want to confirm you guys can see me.
Yep.
And I'll leave this here. So this is the Pegasus Z, and this is the civilian version. I want to show you that there are actually some differences between them. Because you can see here, all of the doors are naked carbon, because this is what our customers like at the moment. And I'll bring it closer. You can see the cockpit inside. And this is the 3-pedal system that I was talking about. I just want to check you guys can hear me okay, right? Wonderful. So there are 3 pedals here, and the left and the right pedal will act as yaw during flight. However, as you're putting into the driving mode, the center pedal becomes the brake, and the right pedal becomes the accelerator. So this is like a very neat trick that we have packaged everything together. So we don't need to have a separate system just for flight controls or drive controls. And I want to show you the other version, the Pegasus Police. Yep. The door trims are slightly more boring here because it's just matte finishes. And this is the one that I get to fly quite often. As you can see, this particular cyclic stick is also retractable. And there's a very good reason for it. For example, when you try to get into the vehicle, when it's all folded down like this, it's very easy to get in. And when you're ready to fly, you simply put this upwards, and you're ready for all the flight controls. Turning everything on, this is the retractable steering. As you're flying, you can simply push that, and then that will get locked in. Because as you know, when you're driving, the front wheels do move. However, if it's in the air when it moves, it will actually generate some type of aerodynamic forces that will unbalance the aircraft. So by locking this particular steering wheel in, it focuses all the front wheels forward, and it allows the aircraft to fly more stably. Because essentially the front wheel covers will also act as the vertical stabilizer. At the same time, the length of the cyclic stick is designed so it's not going to be bumped into in any situation. And just like I was explaining before, to fly this you need a helicopter license, because all of the controls when it's flying becomes the same as a helicopter. Same collective, same cyclic, and same yaw control. And these are the ones. So when you put the fly on here, I'm not so sure if you can see, but you can see the lights are all working, and the indicators are here. And this is what we have. So when you try to get out of the car, definitely sit down still, hold the cycling stick, and you can get out very easily. That's it. Want to see if you can see it a little bit clearer than this. And this is the ground power button. And when you can hear that little click, you turn this little switch on, and you're ready to drive it. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint stand, and I'm happy to answer any of the question that you have, and we go from there.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was great to see that visually. It's my first time actually seeing it in person, so that was cool to see.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, we're getting some questions already coming in. The first question I see here is, can you elaborate on the 3-hour flight range and how does that compare to other eVTOL vehicles in development?
Understood. 3 hour flight range is our maximum flight time. And we can achieve that is because in flight we use high octane gas only. And in Australia it's called the 98. Essentially it's the highest, almost the highest grade of petroleum that you can get. The reason why we went for hybrid is because of this particular flight time. Because if you can only fly for 30 minutes, just like those eVTOLs, it no longer makes sense as a product because there actually current regulation that says any type of flying vehicle you will need any type of aircraft you will need at least 20 minutes of reserve. So as we know, as pilots, we know not all of the takeoff and landings are as smooth as it goes. So when you only have 30 minutes of flight time, it's extremely limited. So what if your takeoff or your landing takes a bit longer than the time that you have scheduled for, which then it becomes dangerous. So that's why we designed Pegasus E to make sure you don't have to consider these, you don't have to worry about these factors as you're flying. Again, it's about providing a practical system that can work in current airspace regulation. So when eVTOLs are still being charged at the vertiports, we can still be in operation. That is why. And I'm sure that, and there's no doubt, by the way, about that electric power will be good enough for vertical takeoff and landing flight in the future. It simply is not just not good enough yet. So for the fact that we're using a hybrid system, excuse me, we're using battery packs to drive on the road. So we understand batteries and we also understand electric motors. So the moment when energy density for battery packs are good enough, we can make a very simple switch.
And then what are the key features that enable Pegasus flying cars to take off and land vertically? How does this impact their usability in urban environments?
So as you can see, Pegasus is a package between almost like a race car, because we designed something called a semi monocoque. It's a monocoque chassis, which is extremely light but extremely strong. It combines with rotorcraft technologies, and this is the design philosophy that we went with from the very beginning. Again, it's about faster commercialization because we need to go into the market to demonstrate that we have the reliability and the performance to behave and to perform like a flying car. So these are all extremely important factors that can get Pegasus as a household name, the first one that people think about when it comes to flying cars. Vertical takeoff and landing is the most important factor of all of these because compared to, let's say, other rotor aircraft companies or other flying car companies, they still require a runway. The first thing we say is, if you need a runway for a flying car, then it's not not a real flying car. So we were very focused on this aspect, and that's why we went for this design package. And by having this ability, uh, obviously we know, especially in the US, there are a lot of helipads around, even right there in the city. So all of those locations we can have access to, we can do takeoff and landings already. And this particular Pegasus E is 268 kilograms. I will need to convert it to the pounds later. 260 kilograms. So it's extremely light. So we don't have to have extra infrastructure for Pegasus to be in operation today. And I'm sure you understand the reason why we put it into the police scheme, because it really does serve a purpose for them. It makes economic sense too. In short, a typical police helicopter, that is the Augusta AW169, it costs about $4,000 per hour to operate without the crew. However, for Pegasus, it's about $140 per hour to operate. And I'm sure you can imagine by sticking a surveillance camera under the car would do those surveillance traffic monitoring jobs just as good. However, now you can spread your network by having multiple vehicles around the city and do a much better job. So these is why we went for the this particular design package and how it is useful essentially in every scenario possible.
And then can you explain how the Pegasus vehicles can be parked in standard garages and car parks? What are the size constraints?
Yeah, so the typical garage car park space is 2 meters wide and 5 meters long. So Pegasus is 1.8 meters wide and 5.6 meters long. So it is just slightly longer than a standard car park. However, there are other cars that are about just as long. For example, the Mercedes-Benz V250 van that definitely parks out slightly longer than a standard car park. However, it does fit. In terms of garage, if you own a house, if you own your own property, this can be driven into your garage because the height is only 1.9 meters. As we know, most of the garage are about 2 meters tall, so it will fit in perfectly. And again, it's all about how we can fit this flying car into the current regulation and also the current structure of the society, because as you know now, that it can be driven into a car park and a standard garage because it can be used in daily lives now.
And then in what ways are Pegasus flying cars 80% less affected by adverse weather conditions? Can you provide specific examples?
The concept comes from this. eVTOLs, they only fly. It essentially means anything above, to my mind, anything about 25 knots of wind, they're not going to be able to fly. Essentially, their entire operation comes to a halt because of it. But Pegasus, because we're vertical takeoff and landing, but also truly drivable on the road, if the situation comes down to it, that we can actually just be driven on the road like a normal car. So picture a situation where when you take off, the weather condition is perfect. However, if you have to land in the middle of the trip because the weather condition has gone more severe. So Pegasus can still complete the task of delivering those passengers, whereas other eVTOL companies simply cannot. And again, it's the package of Pegasus that make us extremely advantageous because we can be driven on the road, and because we can fly, and because we can refill at a gas station. So our operation essentially never stops.
And the last question I'm seeing here is about the FAA certification process. How are you preparing for it? And then are there significant differences in requirements?
In Australia, we have the aviation authority called CASA, and US, obviously the FAA. They're actually a bilateral agreement between the two parties that says that essentially says anything that is certified in Australia will be certified in the United States. So this is the first feedback from Bob and other advisors too. Because we have this CASA airworthiness registration, we can apply for the same airworthiness registration in the US essentially in a very short amount of time. With that airworthiness registration, we can do all the demonstrations and all the flight demonstrations, and as we all the flight demonstrations with that sort of airworthiness registration, we can also do all the flight demonstrations in the US. So that will be a very important milestone for us to complete. And during that time, the purpose of this particular Wefunder run is we can set up our own facility in the US. So as that is going on, we will be applying for the full certification process, a type certificate, and there are no major issues. There are no major issues or differences between the two aviation authority. And again, it's just paper and regulation, which obviously we read before we design something. So we are very confident about passing all of those. At the same time, I want to say in the last months that Minnesota, they passed the legislation that allows flying cars to be driven on the road because they see flying cars are now inevitable. So not only we Pegasus have found a regulation that we can fit into in terms of aviation, but we also know in the US that the road driving part is also expanding. So this is probably really the best time to get into a project like this. And I'm sure you can see the significant engineering advantages that we have and how we can go into the market faster and how we can utilize those advantages and again, make Pegasus the household name of flying cars.
Awesome. Jackie, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in, but while we wrap, you want to talk a little bit about the crowdfunding campaign and really the vision for it.
Yes, of course. Currently, Pegasus is based in Melbourne, Australia. However, as we mentioned before, becoming a public company in the US has been a goal of ours since the very beginning. So so this particular campaign is for us to receive the funding necessary to make our move to the United States. We actually all started in Las Vegas because our first time getting significant traction was in the 2020 CES of Las Vegas. But obviously, we know what happened in 2020 because we were actually on the last flight going back to Melbourne before COVID banned everything. So this is our move towards it. Most of the capital will be used for most of the capital raised will be used for establishing the facility in the United States, doing flight demonstrations, and also receiving the airworthiness registration, which allow us to tell people and demonstrate to police forces of exactly what we got. Conversations has already been started with many agencies, many police departments actually, about how we can do this particular demonstration, and if they do show interest. And I can say the feedback has been extremely positive because first, this is something that they have not seen before, but this is also something that they can directly picture how it can be used in those operations. So yeah, this is what we're going to do with the capital raise for Wefunder. And we're extremely excited because obviously in the US, we know that the quality and the quantity of capital is much more significant, much greater than Australia here. So we do believe this is a very advantageous and strategic move. And I'm sure we can do great things in the US.
Awesome. Thank you, Jackie. And if anyone in the audience want to know more about Pegasus and what they're doing, check out the Wefunder page. I did add it in the chat. I'll go ahead and add it one more time. And yeah, Jackie, any final sign-offs you want to give the audience here before we head out?
My email was at the very last line of the PowerPoint. So if you have a question, please email me. I'm on there all the time. Thank you so much for joining today. And I hope I have explained the uniqueness of Pegasus and how we can enter into the market and be a very unique product and company at the end of the day.
Awesome. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, everyone who attended. And yeah, be on the lookout for the replay of the webinar.
Thank you.